Hey friends, welcome to the Johnson City Living Podcast, where we learn about the people, places, events, and flavors that make Johnson City just a lovely place to live. I'm your host, Colin Johnson, with the Colin and Carly Group and Keller Williams Realty. If you're interested in buying or selling a home in the area, or if you're looking at investing in a rental property, give us a call at 423-930-8003, and we will look forward to helping you. Now, let's get to today's episode. We've been selling a lot of houses and bringing a lot of people to East Tennessee, and I am excited to help you guys make Johnson City home. So if you want to invest in real estate, you want to buy a house, you want to move here, I'd love to help you do that. Enough about me. We've got a special guest today who embodies the heart of Johnson City, Andrew Julian. He lives in the Tree Streets with his wife, Charlotte. Many of you may remember him as a former owner of Charlotte's Florals. He has two boys, Jones and Riley, and he is a certified financial planner and the founder of Samara Private Wealth. We have a compliance statement for you, Andrew, because you're so fancy, we got to read it. So hold on, everybody. We're going to do a little compliance statement. I'm going to read it as fast as I can. You ready? On your mark, get set, go. Andrew offers investment advice through Private Investor Group, which is a federally registered investment advisor. The option or opinions voiced in this podcast / material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be suitable for you, consult the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision. Whew, that was a lot. And I got to read it again at the end too, I think. So after all of that, and you guys are going to be excited about this dude's voice. He sounds really cool. So welcome to the podcast. How are you?
I'm happy to be here. I do need to make a quick correction because taking credit for Charlotte's Florals might get me in trouble.
Well,
we'll give her full ownership on that.
Yes.
I just want to start clean.
Hey, it's good to have
not make any mistakes. So.
Clear heart, pure eyes.
Yeah. So
sorry,
she
Charlotte.
had an awesome business.
Yes.
And I think there's a lot of husbands in there that are disappointed that she's not doing it anymore.
She did a great job with Charlotte's Floral, and then you guys decide to have babies and pivot a little bit. Do you think Charlotte's Floral will ever come back?
I don't know. You had to get her on the podcast.
Yes, we would love to have her.
I've asked a lot and I don't get an answer. So
okay, so we can put her in the hot seat and ask her and see what's going on. All right, Johnson City Living Podcast. First question is, what do you love most about Johnson City? You can't use people or mountains.
Yeah, so for me, it's definitely going to be the walkability of living in the Tree Street. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, 30 minutes from everywhere. So being able to walk to dinner, walk to church. We go to Christ Community Church. Walking to church is such a cool experience.
That is
for
so
us.
Cool.
We didn't walk the past couple of weeks, but
it's a little chilly.
Love walking to Timber. Fearless is amazing. So just that experience, and with that West Walnut Street development, we kind of got to walk that sidewalk in sections. Like they got this section done.
Yes.
Oh, we got more sidewalk. So it's just been, we love that so much.
I think the city is probably I think they've done an amazing job with it. I think a lot of people got frustrated with that corridor because just the infrastructure was so old, and they were like, they thought we could have this done in a year, and then 3 years later it's done, because you're digging up all the sewer lines, all the water lines, all the power lines. I mean, like, it was all old infrastructure that had to be redone. And I mean, it was like, I drove over there one day and I was just like, I felt like I was in a Humvee going down the road through like some kind of war zone. It was just crazy.
Yeah. Imagine a stroller going to church, and it's like, oh, I would like pick it up across sections, you know.
And like, there's a hole, like I can't see the bottom. They're like, it was.
No, but super, that is a cool spot.
I applaud the city. They did a great job with it. So a lot of planning went into it. A lot of stuff, and I give a shout out to Pat Walding. He's our buddy, and he's the city horticulturist. So he helped with all the planning stuff.
Well, they've done a really good job with that.
Beautiful.
Because that's I did a lawn care in high school and college. And I was like, they planted all this beautiful landscape. And I was like, I wonder if the city's going to maintain this. They're going to weed it, and they water it. There's people out there pulling weeds. They do a great job.
Yeah, and thinking about, you got to have a long-term plan on that. You can't put in, a lot of times you'll see them put in oaks, and they're like, oh, this will be a nice tree for the, and you're like, you don't think about it 25 years or 30 years later when that thing's 100 feet tall. And so it's, you got to think through, and I think they've done a great job with it. But enough about that. Where'd you grow up?
So put you on the spot here. Familiar with Mohawk, Tennessee?
I've heard the name Mohawk, yeah. Yeah.
It's just a spot on the map in Greene County.
Okay.
They're exit 15 off of I-81.
Yep. That's where I've seen it.
Yeah. So in the middle of nowhere, dairy farm, kind of extended family members.
Did you grow up on a dairy farm?
Well, I think my cousins, if they ever listen to this, would like say if I claim that, they would say no.
No, because he wasn't up at 4 a.m.
No, I
milking.
never did the 4 a.m. shifts, but I did milk in the afternoon.
Oh, okay. You got to do it twice a day, right?
You got to do it twice a day. So my brother did some of the 4 a.m. shifts. I never got in there.
It's never too late.
Well,
you can go back. Let's go.
Yes, they still actually are doing it. One of the last ones.
I grew up at a church where we had a lot of some great dairy farmers in our church, and I mean those guys are the hardest working people. Yeah. I mean,
no doubt.
Unbelievable.
When there's a bad day in the office, I am quickly reminded what hard work's like.
Amen. Yeah, were you up at 4 feeding cows and milking and shoveling?
Yeah, when it's -2 wind chill this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was not. So.
But yeah, I went to West Greene, and that's why I met my wife, Charlotte. So we've been together a long time now. I'm 32. Met her when I was 16. So big moment for me this year. It's half my life. So.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where'd you guys go to school? College after?
Yeah. So we went to ETSU, and kind of that's how we got Johnson City.
I like it.
Johnson City was always a date night, for Greenville folks.
That's right.
It's get up here, have something nice to eat, and then go back home. And
if you're getting really fancy, you maybe go down to Knoxville. We're going to big town.
Yeah. So getting here for ETSU, you kind of see the whole, and then you go downtown, and that's when we found the tree streets, and we would just drive through those streets. I'm like, man, it'd be cool to live here one day.
When did you buy a house without me in there? How long ago was that?
To be fair, I think we officially met today.
Yes.
So it's been 5 years ago.
Okay.
We bought right there before the pandemic. So
smart.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah. That's I haven't done an investment that's returned that profile.
Isn't that great? Yes.
On that little house that we bought there. So,
we've sold, I don't know, I'm going to say 20, 30 houses in the tree streets over the years. And I love the tree streets. And it's like an interesting little pocket of values. I mean, it's kind of almost like New York pricing inside Johnson City. It's crazy. The price per square foot just drops dramatically when you get into that. And if it's been updated and well done, and it's just a great little pocket there. We love it.
Well, I don't think people in the tree streets want this, but are you familiar with 12 South or 12 South or whatever they call it in Nashville? It's like a similar concept where they have a bunch of development on one side and they've got houses, historic houses.
I think I know where you're at. Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of pull. If the West Walnut Street develops the way that the city hopes it develops, and that's only going to, hopefully,
only drive values up more.
Some people might not like the extra people trying to come up into the tree streets and park in front of your house kind of thing, but
public streets, unless there's a ordinance against it, you can't.
But no, it's a good spot.
So how did you guys? So just college hanging out, you were like, we want to live in the tree streets, pretty much.
I give all credit to design and where we're at to Charlotte because she's got the eye for that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So but it was really just we both didn't experience like a sidewalk community growing up.
Right.
So thinking about having a family, being able to go outside of your house, walk downtown for dinner, walk back.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, I know it's not for people that have lived here their whole life, or it doesn't mean anything to them. For us, it's like, this is awesome.
It is.
And I think there's something about walking. We're in this society, we're driving all the time, or we're instant in entertainment. Like the walking and talking to people as you're walking and seeing friends and neighbors as you go by. It's like what they used to do. Now there's something about just some joy from walking to where you're going that we really enjoy.
We'll have to come back in 70 years and see if it's like a blue zone, like you guys are 100 and just wearing it out because you walk to the grocery, you walk to dinner,
Yeah, well, if anybody out there has some marketing strengths, we'd love to get a Trader Joe's.
We've been working
West
on that
Walnut
one
Street.
for years. Yes, we were hoping Earth Fair closed for a minute, and we were like, "Oh, it could be a Trader Joe's." And
if I could walk to Trader Joe's, I think that'd be
done.
Special.
Yeah. Now is your office down there too?
So at the moment I'm using Spark Plaza.
Okay,
so
good.
You're probably familiar with that.
Very, very, very.
I love that spot.
Yeah, that's
great
awesome.
people there. Makes a lot of sense with the way the conference rooms are set up.
Yeah.
And my business model, it's a lot of computer work, but you want to have good relationships with people, and I like shaking people's hands. And so using Spark Plaza in the short term with this new launch, but if you find a good spot on West Walnut Street, that's where I want to go.
Okay.
So,
Well, we'll have to talk offline about that.
Yeah.
Or if somebody's listening, they're like, "Hey, I got a
Yeah.
building. Call me, and we'll hook you up."
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening down there, so who knows what the future looks like.
Yeah, for sure. What do you love most about raising kids in Johnson City?
Well, I guess for me, I do love family's super important to us,
Yeah.
so I can get the Johnson City walking by that we just spent time talking about, but we're 45 minutes to an hour from both grandparents.
Yeah, how good is that? Right?
So it really does feel like just a perfect win-win for us because our kids, Jones and Riley, love going to grandma's house. They can get their hands dirty. They can grow up on the farm like I did, learn some good hard work. They can go to their Charlotte's parents, but we still can experience the same thing. So to me, it's the lifestyle that it provides us,
Right.
but for us, it's close to our family. And then our church family is super important.
Well, I was going to say, walking to Christ Community, that's got to be fun.
Yeah, and that's it. It's been cool to be a part of the growth there. I think, like you said with your intro, there's so many people moving here. It's great for my business, but it's also an opportunity for churches.
I feel like the Lord, and I've said it a number of times on here, that He's calling people to Johnson City so that we can love them well and teach them about who Jesus is, and then ultimately, when He wins them over, right?
Yeah,
and then that continues to grow. So I'm praying for revival, to start here and just really just take off. But yeah, Jim is a good friend of mine, and the pastor Jim Powell, and he does a phenomenal job.
Yeah, it's an exciting time for the church. So I don't know if anybody's familiar with that building, but some people come up to you and are like, I used to worship differently in that building when it was the
sophisticated altar.
Yes, that was before
there.
my time.
Yeah.
So we're going through the middle of a capital campaign right now to where we're going to basically that courtyard to the left of that 3-story building is going to be a new sanctuary.
Oh, wow. That'll be cool.
And so trying to maintain the, historic look and add to the West Walnut, but while, not having to look at a pillar.
Right. Yes.
When you're listening to Jim preach.
Yeah.
Because it's, the growth has been great for the church. Like I think a lot of local churches I've seen. So,
yeah. What do you think about living as a local kind of in the Tree Street area and walking? Like, how do you kind of take ownership and stewardship of that area there? I mean, and I feel like a lot of the Tree Street people probably do the same.
Yeah. So I'm kind of a little funny on landscaping. So like I have a Bermuda grass green in my yard that people probably think I'm crazy about. But
do you mow it every day? Like in the summer?
Yeah.
Do you have a real mower?
Yeah, I do have a real mower, REEL.
Yes. So, yeah, I grew up mowing greens.
Oh, okay.
On the Johnson
City
Country Club. And then, Meadowview. And so, yeah, I would love to come by and check it out.
So it's like a little putting green. And the best part about it is Jones is when he's like, hey, Dad, can I go putt a little? Yeah. You go ahead. Anytime.
All the time. That's what it's for.
You'll be good.
And
so landscaping is kind of like, I work with my brain, talking to people, but I love working with my hands. And so like if I'm walking downtown or through the Tree Streets or through the West Walnut development and there's like a big weed in the landscaping, I'll just, pull that weed. It's kind of like fixing a divot on the golf green.
I'm with you all the time.
Fix 2 if you make 1. So.
I don't know why people don't fix divots. It just drives me nuts.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we don't.
That's awesome.
Another podcast. On
that's
that
right.
Yeah.
Yes. I have an idea on that too. So.
Yeah.
All right. So, how did you get into financial advising and planning?
Yeah. So try to keep this, irrespective of time. But I was actually going to be an optometrist, and I was shadowing an optometrist at ETSU. When I was at ETSU, I was shadowing an optometrist, and he's like, "You should get a business degree." And I had my mowing business, so I was kind of familiar with the. Running some revenue there. And he's like, no one really knows how to, everybody is really good at seeing patients, but no medical professional really understands how to run a balance sheet or a cash flow statement. I was like, okay. And I was kind of bored watching him work, right? It was like, this is not doing it for me. It was always biochem to get to biochem 2, organic 1 to get to organic 2. And so I took Dr. Trainer's class at ETSU in the business school. And I was like, that's his principles of investing class.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, wow, this is the first time I've enjoyed college. It's because it was like I was sitting there actually enjoying what I was learning, not just to get to something else. So kind of tying that with my family background story is my mom passed away from cancer when I was 12, from a long battle of leukemia. And so you kind of see what the lack of financial planning did. Everybody's in good shape now, but it's like there was some tough years there for the family.
Yeah.
high income earner for her. And so kind of paired that in. And when you're, just to be honest with you, when you're 22 years old, starting out of college, 'cause I've been doing this for 10 years now, you're not getting any 65-year-old to come say, "Hey, Andrew, you just graduated. Here's my 6-digit, 7-digit portfolio. Why don't you manage my life savings?" Right. So that was not happening for me. And so Northwestern Mutual gave me a great start. An internship allowed me to work through.
They teach you great fundamentals.
Yeah. They paid for me to get my CFP, which is super thankful. And there's great people there, and thankful for my time there. But I always saw myself as getting more focused on the wealth management side and the financial planning side. So transition to Cornerstone, also great people there. Happy.
That was in Greenville.
That was in Greenville. So a little bit of a commute, but I was driving against the sun, which was nice for those that go to Greenville. If it was the other way, I probably would have never went there.
Yeah.
And so just, here in January, decided to launch my own practice. And it's just been a great transition. Super thankful.
A lot of folks come out of Northwestern and start their own deal, right? Like, why is that for
I think there's this practice, and you probably feel that a little bit maybe in your practice. There's a lot of value of being able to call your own shots. Like if you have a cool idea, you don't want someone above you saying you can't do this cool idea because of corporate policy.
Gotcha.
Like, to me, it's like if I find something cool for you that benefits you and your family,
right,
and it makes sense and it's legal and I want to be able to use that.
But you're getting everybody gets a lot of pushback from corporate.
Well, it just
stuff
depends,
like
right?
Gotcha.
So I think when you go independent, you have a lot more flexibility to open up your toolbox.
Yeah.
And do some different kinds of things.
Yeah, I think in my mind, I'm like thinking about just security in numbers too. Like, like if you were, I get an independent kind of thing, but you start a smaller firm locally or you partner with a smaller firm and it's kind of like real estate in my mind. You have Keller Williams is number one company in the world now. So I can leverage that. And then we're number one in our area. So I can leverage that, and so, but yeah, I could see wanting to do your own thing too, because we're all independent contractors and I can do whatever I want at Keller Williams as long as it's legal.
Yeah, and that's basically where I'm at now. Yeah. So
but you have to have like an underwriting kind of you're running the money through, you're doing.
Yeah, so like Charles Schwab, that's a good transit.
So you have like somebody backing you at the end, right?
You want a third party custodian. You don't want to be writing much checks to anybody.
Right. You're not just keeping it in your sock drawer.
No,
yeah, no. You gotta keep it going. I love it. Okay, so what does it mean to work as a fiduciary? I know we get that thrown around, and I see ads on TV about we're fiduciaries and not, So tell us about that.
Yeah, so I think a lot of it comes to as a CFP, you're a fiduciary required to act in the best interest of others above yourself, right? That's basically the Webster dictionary. But to me,
it's kind of biblical too.
Yeah, well, I was going to say I was raised this way, right? Like, and so for me, that people that don't know me, that's why I got the CFP, so there's like a baseline of trust a little bit. Like, hey, this guy's supposed to be doing what is in my best interest, but they don't know me yet. So it's like, but for people that kind of know who I am and how I was raised, it's like I didn't really need to get the CFP because that was how I was going to operate business anyway.
Yeah.
Right. And I've seen that pay off. If you do things the right way, you take care of people, you do what you say you're going to do, then people appreciate that. And to me, that's the fiduciary standard. Right. Like just do what you're going to say you're going to do. And
I don't know where we got off track with that. Like I grew up the same way. Yeah. Like if you said you're going to do something, you need to do it. And you need to treat people better than you would yourself almost, and set high levels of integrity and standards. And I feel like that's kind of fallen by the wayside a little bit. And then that's why you see America kind of in where, the situations it is sometimes places, because we've elevated people who don't have as much as integrity as maybe you do.
Well, this is probably another podcast for another day, right?
We're going to have like 3 or 4.
Yeah. So love Jim Powell, right? But he recently recommended a book to me called Living Life Backwards. And I'm not recalling the author's name, but it's a Scottish pastor off of his take on Ecclesiastes.
Ooh.
And if you want to talk about perspective, it's like, hey, there's one thing that we're all guaranteed to do, and that's we're all dying. The sooner you can kind of figure that out, the better, because the way that you live your life, like what we're talking about, you pay more attention to the important things versus getting caught up in stuff that really doesn't matter.
David Gibson. I just looked
David
it up
Gibson,
on Amazon. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I agree 100%.
It's good perspective. If you've not read that book, I'd
definitely
recommend it.
Yeah, it's
And
one of
if
those
you
ones
listen to
that
it, it's even better because he's a Scottish pastor and he's got a good accent.
I
So.
love a good Scottish accent. All right. What separates thoughtful planning from kind of reactive financial decision making in your mind?
So when I look at, what is thoughtful planning, the first thing I want to make sure people feel is it's not cookie cutter. I feel like that's a problem in our industry is like you kind of just get as many people in as fast as you can and just give them
Prescribe the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And so for me, thoughtful planning is making sure it's customized to who each individual and family is. And if you do it that way, then you hopefully eliminate some reactive planning. But that, financial planning is not necessarily about predicting the future. It's just giving you confidence that you're not going to make a decision that you regret.
Right.
Because there's not a guarantee that there won't be a conversation down the road where you're like reactively making decisions.
Like, one of these companies just went under and we got.
Well, not even investment wise, but like your spouse passes away, you get fired, you need to retire earlier because of a health issue,
or because you made them so much money off their investments.
I'd love that option. So, but it's just there's some things in life you can't control. There's things in life you can try to plan for.
Gotcha.
And I think if you do that through, I've said this so many times, I don't really remember who I've said it to, but we're not trying to tip Uncle Sam. We got to pay our fair share. But, tax-aware planning, you don't want to reactively get a big tax bill in April and you didn't do anything proactively to help minimize that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really all-encompassing. And I think the biggest miss, too, I see is this lack of estate planning.
100%.
You want to talk about reactive planning, you build up all this wealth, you don't do any estate planning, that estate dies and probate, intestate, all these crazy words no one wants to even think about. That is definitely reactive planning that people need to avoid. So,
yeah, I think thinking about the end, helps you begin well. If you kind of like, all right, here we go. And so, yeah, I think about that as I'm halfway at 52. If I make it to 100, I'm over halfway. So I'm on the downhill swing. And so you got to think about what are you going to do? What are you going to leave behind?
Well, I do think about that a lot because of what I've experienced as a kid, losing, my mother at 12. I think God has used that to help frame perspective.
Sure.
To help have better conversations with people.
Right. And realizing that life is short. Yeah. I just picked up a book. I got it for my boys and I for Christmas called The 5 Types of Wealth by Sahil Bloom. I don't know if you've read that.
No, I haven't.
The reason he was doing something else, but he had dinner with one of his friends and he said, how you doing or whatever? And the guy's like, I'm doing really well. I've realigned kind of my life. And he was like, well, tell me more about that or whatever. And he said, well, your parents live out of state, right? And he was like, yeah. And he goes, well, how often do you see them? And he said, probably like once a year. And he goes, well, you're probably only going to see them 15 more times before they die. And he was like, what? And so he decided to realign his life because he was like, I'm really not putting first things first and trying to, and family was huge for him. And so getting out of the rat race and starting to do things differently to where he can spend more time with his parents I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm excited to see how this book turns out. I'll pass it on to you. I'm excited. But beginning with the end in mind, it's kind of the Franklin Covey deal from a long time ago. So what little financial blind spots do you often see most in young families? What are some things some advice that you could give?
Yeah, young families is probably along the lines of lack of, especially you wouldn't believe the amount of like husband, wife, 3 kids, everybody's doing what they think they need to do on investing. They have no estate plan like we were talking about. It's like, do you know if you both die, the local courts can decide who the guardian of your kids are.
Isn't that nuts?
And
nobody thinks
believe
about
the
it.
amount of people that don't have estate plans with kids.
I mean, I think we need to say that again because a lot of people don't even think.
I mean, the local judges are good, don't get me wrong, but you could have a really wealthy brother that you would never want your kids to go to, but he lives in the best school district.
Right.
And he's got the most money. And then you've got your sister who's a missionary who you would love for your kids to be growing up with, but she's not here locally. She's moving all over the place. What do you think? The judge doesn't know any of that. He's going to be like, oh,
Well, he's here local and he's financially sound, so
Yeah.
there you go.
So that's kind of an extreme example, but
it's not out of line.
no,
I
it
mean, like
happens,
you
I'm
could
sure, all the
be, I
time.
mean, like you, yeah. I mean, a family could be headed to pick up their kids from school and be in a car wreck and they're not there anymore,
Yeah.
and then awful situation.
Yeah. So
So
like those
how
are
do you,
the
how do you make that as good as possible? Like,
So it's super easy to do that, right? Local attorneys can do that. You just need a will, power of attorneys. Um, it's pretty in state of
yeah,
Tennessee. Don't want to get too attorney-ish here, but it's
no,
like you need 2 witnesses and a notary,
yeah,
and that will work
yeah.
in most cases. So
And some, medical stuff on the front end for you
yeah,
too. Should you, need a medical durable power of attorney or like a living will
yeah, stuff
situation,
like
you
that.
need to put all that together on the front end while you're young and
Well,
thinking,
the best example of this was so I do this for a living, so I've got these documents. And I'm like, I've seen it happen with my family, and I talk about it every day. So it's like, hopefully, I've got mine. When we had our first child, Jones, in the hospital, I saw the nurse typing in all of the information on the computer screen, and she was going through all those questions. Do you have a living power of attorney? Do you have do you have healthcare directives? And she had already checked no on all of the boxes as she was asking the questions because no one our age has any of these things. And so I was like, yeah, we have all those. And she said, you serious? And I was like, yeah. So she went back into the system and backed all that out. And so I was like, okay, that tells me all I need to know.
yeah, for real.
Right.
Like, yeah, when your default's no, nobody has it then.
Yeah, they just, had to ask the questions
Yeah.
and answer no. So, and the other side of it is the risk planning, right? You're protecting your biggest asset, which is your unearned income for your family.
Right.
It's people are asking different questions, but they want the same answer, right? Are we going to be okay?
Yeah.
Right? That's a different question for a 30-year-old than a 60-year-old.
Right.
And so I like helping people feel good about those questions.
Mm-hmm.
And so, risk planning, as we call it, estate planning, super important for younger professionals.
Mm-hmm.
But those are the 2 big misses I see.
And I'm thinking you're talking about not only investing but insurance too to hedge the
Yeah, simple term life insurance, right? Like if you're making $100,000 a year, $1 million of term life insurance.
you can do it on your phone while you're watching golf. This weekend
It's
I
not
saw that
hard
ad
anymore,
100
right?
times. Like, yeah,
Yeah. So, but it's just simple stuff like that. I'll do it tomorrow.
yeah.
Same for the estate planning, right?
No,
So,
do it today.
yeah,
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And use whoever you want.
Right.
Term insurance is term insurance. It's a contract.
It
The
is.
company's good, and you're good. And
You want them to be around.
Yeah.
And you don't want any weird stuff in there that's like, oh, we're not going to pay that out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Pretty straightforward stuff.
Right.
So.
Right. How should people mentally prepare for retirement before looking at like looking at their portfolio, their numbers, kind of walk us through that as Mitch is getting old over here. He's a good 38. And
that's what I thought when I walked in. I was like,
yeah,
he's not going to be doing this much longer.
No. Yeah. He's going to retire when he's like 55. He's smart.
I think it goes back to, and I love when I get to have these conversations with people who are believers and we can just cut straight to the chase.
Let's do it.
We don't have to walk around anything. So for those that pay attention more, like my job is to make sure the money works. Your job is to make sure your identity is not in your job. Because if your identity is in your job, you're never going to enjoy retirement, no matter how good your portfolio is. And so it kind of goes back to what we're talking about, living life backwards. What's your giving strategy? If you're in retirement and you've transitioned out, how much money are we going to give away to your church? To like that kind of thing, I think helps people have a better retirement than, okay, well, your $1 million turned into 1.2. So here's an extra $1,000 a month.
Right.
But that's not really, I think, driving happiness for people in retirement. Yeah. They really want to know if they're okay. Yep. They like having somebody in their corner they can trust.
Yep.
Because no one wants to hear the industry jargon that we talk about. And so you want clarity, not complexity. And I think that's something that I hope people focus on when they go into retirement is, the numbers have to work. You can't just wish the numbers work. But if you have somebody telling you the numbers work, let them focus on that. And then you focus on, what's your purpose in retirement?
Yeah.
Because last thing I want for folks, this is when I talk to my younger folks too, is I don't want you penny pinching your whole way, getting to 65 and then you get dementia at 65. You got this beautiful portfolio, but you have nothing.
You don't get to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to be aware of life happens that way sometimes for folks. And just you don't put your identity in money or your job. For us, it's identity in Christ.
Amen.
And I think that helps a lot.
Yeah.
When you talk about successful retirements.
Yeah, I like it. And then, you can walk them through the numbers and kind of say, okay. And of course, then you're thinking you got to factor in inflation and housing costs in the future and healthcare stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's complex, right? And so having somebody to help you kind of go down through that and walk through some models is very beneficial, I think. So
yeah, that's what I specialize in.
There you go.
But I don't think when people walk into the office, if I spend all my time talking about that,
right,
they're gonna forget it by the time they get to the door.
Right.
And so you gotta help people feel comfortable about what does this look like.
Yeah.
And so I do thoroughly enjoy that. The most about my job is just getting to talk with individuals and families and helping them have a multi-generational impact. Because if they can live their life that way, then it's going to trickle down to their kids.
What advice can you give to maybe clients facing a major life transition? Like they're coming out of they're going to go into retirement or they're making a big move or, what would be some financial advice you could give there?
So some of them are proactive changes, some of them are reactive changes, right? So like some of my favorite conversations so far that I've had in my career are, sad ones, widows, husband made all the decisions. They've been left with all this money. They don't know any of these terms, any of these investments. It's a real vulnerable time for them because you can be taken advantage of in terms of, I've got a good idea for you.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that aren't going to be in heaven, I think, because of the...
You said it, that not me.
Well, I think when you take advantage of widows and orphans, right, we're supposed to protect them and help them. I think the Lord's not going to look favorably upon that. So. But I think, you have a huge responsibility at that point, right, to really just take care of these folks like their family. And
that's how I view it. And so those people...
Same here all the time,
So when that happens, what I usually say is we got to let the dust settle. Like you don't make any quick, like we're not going to be doing any trading or changing things up. You just had a traumatic event. We're going to let the dust settle.
Yeah.
You're going to be okay. We'll make sure everything's okay, but let's just push pause for a little bit.
Sure.
So when you have those kind of situations, you don't want to make any rash decisions.
Right. Like we got you, we can do distributions. You're going to be fine for the next 6 months. Just chill and take care of you and heal and restore
100%.
Yeah.
From the proactive side, it's really about, I always tell people, it's like, you should probably call, if you knew your house was going to catch on fire, you should probably call the firefighters before versus after it's burnt down. Call your financial planner and be like, hey, I quit my job 3 weeks ago. I cashed out my 401k plan. Do you think I can do something with that? And like, no, actually, I can't help you. Very, so it's always helpful if you're going to do preemptive decisions that you have a plan.
Yeah.
And you can look at different strategies. If we do this, it does this. If we do this, it does that. Here's the tax planning. Here's how that affects your investments. And so it's really just, you want to have a strategy. And that's where like so much of what I enjoy is kind of a quarterback when you're building out a game plan. If they blitz from this side, we're going to have to run and play that side. And that's how I view financial planning a little bit. For me, is why I have so much fun with it, is like I'm building a game plan.
Yeah.
And they're going to make adjustments on the other side. The IRS is going to change the tax laws. It's like we got to make adjustments.
Yeah. And and the tax laws are to save money. People, like the tax code is like whatever it is, 2,000 pages. But the first 2 or 3 pages are like, you got to pay taxes. And this is the tax bracket. And the rest of it is all like, well, if you do this and this and this, you can save here. And if you're investing in this to help the economy, then you can save a little money there. Like it's all just tax code on how to divert money around a little bit.
Favorite thing is like everyone's like 401k, 457, 403b. It's like, that's just section 401k of the tax code. It's pretty funny when you think about it.
401 out of like 2012 or whatever it is.
Yeah. So in terms of taxes, kind of going back to one of your earlier questions, but changing the age, right? So it's like people that have stored assets, what is their biggest miss that I see? And it's the way they do charitable giving, right? So you have people that have, a couple 100,000, millions of assets in these publicly traded securities or stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, and they're writing a check to their church or the Boys and Girls Club, and then they've got all these gains over here that they won't sell because they don't want to pay tax on it.
However, they just distributed the stock directly to the.
Yeah, appreciated giving.
Yeah.
It's like no one's doing that.
Yeah, and that saves everybody money.
Yeah, the charity gets the Apple stock. They sell it. They don't pay tax. You take the cash you would have given to the church, and you just buy Apple stock again. Now you've reset your cost basis.
Yeah.
And I just don't see people doing that. Like from a church perspective, because as being on the finance team and the capital campaign team, it's like, we're not getting any stocks in.
Right.
We need to start educating our congregation a little bit. And the other side is, you've got all this tax deferred money. So IRAs, 401ks, this is where people are stocking money away, right? And it's kind of a tax ticking time bomb, right? People think they got $1 million there. You've only got, if you took all that out, you're only getting 600,000.
Isn't that crazy?
So it's not all your money.
Right.
It makes people feel good, but it's not all your money. So once you turn to age 70 and a half, in like this year, 2026, you can give $111,000 out of your IRA directly to any charity. And it's, you can still take the standard deduction. It's, you don't have to itemize, and it's completely tax-free.
That's awesome.
Called a qualified charitable distribution. No one's doing that. They're writing money out of their checks. And so for my clients, an important question is always, do you give to charities? Yes or no? If you do, we're going to do it in the most tax efficient way possible. Because if you were going to give $100,000 to your charity, and you just assumed you're going to pay tax on that, well, now if I can do it tax-free, you might be able to give $112,000, right? So you could give more, you could just save more with taxes. So those are two things I see people not doing. That's just super easy to do.
Yeah.
You just have their Charles Schwab send a check straight out of your IRA to the church. And tax-free.
Because you never touch it. Yeah.
So you do have to be age 70 and a half for that. I don't know why the IRS doesn't just turn that off for everybody. It'd be kind of neat if everybody could do that. But
that would be good. I think they realize that. There's some kind of.
Yeah. Somebody smarter than us probably figured out how to.
Some little guy's working it out, or gal. She's like, oh, we're not going to do that. And this is why. What can I ask you about financial planning that you love? Would like to share anything else besides?
I think it's just the people for me. It's like, I like the analytical side, but that's just kind of me and a computer. When you get to meet with that family and it's like, hey, we were confused, we were concerned, and now they're like, we're confident, we're happy, we're at peace. That's really exciting.
Somebody's listening, smaller, so anybody's listening. How do you overcome the fear of like just picking up the phone and calling a financial planner? Because like, oh, I'm going to have to budget, and he's going to take, $70,000 a year because, we look at our plan, and if I don't put that much in, I'm going to, I'm going to live in a tent the rest of my life when I'm 80 or whatever. How do you help people overcome that fear?
You have a good answer for that question?
I think,
because I think I have a hard job selling delayed gratification in an instant gratification world. I've always thought it's difficult.
Man, it is hard, right?
Like, save today for your future. It's hard for me to do that for my family. I mean, let's just be honest, right?
Yeah. I think listening to stories about people who didn't do it well would be a good motivator for people. I think listen to stories where, oh, you know what, this couple got together and they were 25 and they just put $100 a month in an account for like the next 20 years, and they had a great guy helping them out, and now they're 65 and they've got plenty of money, and they're traveling the world and enjoying life because they did a little, like you said, delayed gratification, right? Or a little planning helped out a lot. Or, if you're listening and you've got kids and you don't have a durable power of attorney or a living will or a trust set up for your family, you need to pick up the phone. You need to, right. And I think overcoming the worry, like, oh, I don't understand any of those terms. Well, that's what their professionals are for. I mean, we've got a trust, and I'm like, I don't understand half of the stuff in there. However, I do understand the big picture of it, and why we did it. And so, just to give us some peace about, should we leave the planet early or what we think is early? The Lord knows exactly where we're going, but, then our family will be well taken care of. So
I think you hit on something there that I see, whether you've seen people make mistakes or they've done it the right way. So you usually try to find behavioral instincts. Like if you have a spender and a saver and they're married, sometimes that's a constant tug of war.
Right.
The spender's parents, they got everything given to them. Yeah, the saver's parents saw his dad get fired 3 times, and they were, you know, bouncing between homes.
Sure.
And so everybody has kind of life experiences that changes the way they view money.
Yeah.
And so it's if it's very difficult for me to convince someone. It's like the whole thing. You can't help people that don't want to be helped.
Right.
Like that's a problem in this society.
But everybody needs help in this world.
Yeah.
In this realm.
Well, we all are called to be good steward of our talents and resources. But if someone has had a life experience that helps me kind of coach them on, you need to be doing this because this has this value, and they can see that in their own life.
Mm-hmm.
It does make the conversation go a whole lot easier.
Yeah, I think it's definitely wisdom that we need to pass on to others, and they're going to be so glad that they listened to this podcast, maybe, or met you, or whoever it might be out there.
There's a lot of great advisors.
They're just going to take really good care of them.
One thing that people do appreciate, though, is when you can reduce their tax bill through tax efficient planning. They're like, oh, whoa, that's a life experience I can get behind.
Yeah, for sure. Or, like we help them sell a house and they have a $200,000, exemption from capital gains if it's their primary residence, or whatever.
There's tax codes like you're talking about. It's like
they don't, and
in 31 exchanges.
Because I get, how much am I going to have to pay in tax when I sell this house? I'm like, was this your primary residence 3 of the last 5 years? They're like, yeah, you don't pay anything. You're going to do good because your cost base, you're great. We can take all that and put it on a new house. Yeah, go for it and let's do it. Or 1031 exchanges and there are ways to like you said, save money. And so I think just finding good qualified individuals that can help is huge. So
100%.
Good for you. All right, let's jump to the speed round. Are you ready?
Oh, let's see.
This is the Tree Streets edition because you promoted yourself as a Tree Streets expert. All right, you ready? Best Tree Streets walking route.
We go down Ernest Street. I'm bad with street names. I think that's a GPS thing. So the road that Fearless is on.
Yep.
What is that? Is that Ernest Street?
I think it is. Ernest Campbell Development's right across the street. My buddy Ernest Campbell, he's great. Yeah, so I think they may have named it after him.
Yeah,
probably
Locust Street down all the way, and then you kind of get to West Walnut.
Yep.
And you can go whichever way you want. That's what we go.
Okay.
And Fearless.
Well, that was my next question. Favorite local coffee spot nearby?
Fearless, 100%. No disrespect to all the other great ones, but
no. And I hadn't been in there. And we met with Carly, and I went and met with Jeremiah Foster, our community life pastor there the other day, and I was like, "This is awesome."
Have you had their food?
Oh, I did. I got a what did I get? I got a muffin. It was delicious.
They've got these amazing breakfast tacos.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I had one this morning.
He is grinning ear to ear.
Yeah,
all right,
so they're great people too.
I'm going to get a taco. That sounds good. I did get one from Project Barbecue, a brisket breakfast taco. Oh,
they're
world class. All right. My mouth's watering just thinking about it. Best season in the Tree Streets. Which one do you like? Spring, summer, fall, or this frigid winter time?
I would say like summer to fall.
Okay.
Bermuda grass is perfect. It's really rolling nice in the front yard, and then you got the trees kind of coming to season.
The Bermuda grass around here in this, late fall, it gets real puffy and kind of like it just
That's why I had to throw the summer.
You threw in the summer. I like it. Yeah. What's one hidden gem people overlook in the Tree Streets neighborhood?
Do we get to count West Walnut Street as Tree Streets?
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know if that's a hidden gem.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I think
apparent.
Timber is a really good.
That's
I don't
a
know
good
if that's
one.
a hidden gem anymore, but that's a good spot at dinner.
Yeah.
I think if you're a Tree Street resident, I don't know if I want everybody coming in, but the school has an awesome playground.
I was going to say that we used to go to the playground.
After school hours, it's like, I've got an awesome playground right next door to the house.
I don't have to build it, pay for it, maintain it, mow it. It's got, go
so
swing.
To me, like for where I'm at, it's like, I'm not like posting it on social media, like, hey, look at this cool playground.
Yeah.
That's an awesome
I like
spot.
that one. Yeah. And then there's another park too, down towards, between Buffalo and Rome. Yeah. There's another park down there that's kind of nice too. So, ideal Saturday morning in Johnson City for you and Charlotte.
What time of year is it?
You pick it. It's ideal.
Well, it's not for me in Charlotte, but I'm a huge Tennessee football fan.
Here we go.
I love some tailgating, but that's when you say Saturdays, I think college football.
All right. Are you an ETSU football fan?
I actually played one semester of football at ETSU.
Here we go.
No claim to fame here.
Okay.
I actually tried on as a 5th-year senior.
Yeah.
I made it as a long snapper. They cut me the next semester, but it was a fun experience.
That's cool.
Yeah, they said I can't keep a 5th-year senior.
Who was the coach?
Carl Torbush.
Yeah,
he was awesome.
He's such a
great
good
guy.
dude.
So I got a 1 semester of experience of like a weight program and stuff like that.
Nice. No wonder
we did go to for those on the podcast, ripped.
Yes, yes.
But no, we went to a game with Jones and Riley this year for the first time.
Well, I was going to say, so
it was great. We walked there, which was even better. Walked to a football game.
And there's a ton of tailgating going on now.
Yeah.
It's like they have, President Nolan's done a great job, and David Blackburn, my buddy there, bringing back like that football feel to like, I mean, because it used to not be like that at all. And now it's like, all right, we're Saturday. They're doing the game walk. The players are coming down the thing, the band.
Oh, yeah. When
it feels good.
That was when they launched the program back. So I was like, at ETSU, they brought the program back. And like, we're doing walk-on tryouts. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do it.
Let's do it. So, there you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for you. What's your favorite local event or tradition?
Good question.
We can come back if you want.
Yeah, circle back to that one. I'm not doing good on the speed round, am I?
If someone's new to the tree streets, what's your first piece of advice?
You just want to be friendly with your neighbors, right? Like, this is a cool
100%.
Like, say hi. This is friendly,
right?
And don't be afraid to walk. I think it's a good part. Like, we've kind of oversaid that, but walking downtown.
And from one horticulture guy to another, like, keep your yard tight.
Yeah, let's
edge some beds. Let's keep the weeds out. Let's mow like at least 3 times a week, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
keep the grass clippings off.
Yeah, exactly. Suck them up. Yeah. I mean, blow off your sidewalk every morning. What's wrong with you? I mean, people don't do that. I don't know why.
Yeah. I thought that was, you didn't have to say that. I thought people just, it's a known.
It should be known, but I mean, if you don't own a blower, go buy one.
My wife is pretty tired of the grass, if I'm being honest. She's like, people think you're crazy. People will walk by the house, get down on, like, bend down and touch the grass and be like, is this real? No, it's real grass.
So like, I think you've inspired me. I've been following this Lawn Dad dude on Instagram. Do you watch him at all?
Is it Lawn Tools?
No, I think it's called the Lawn Dad. Okay. And he has this yard. He walk mows it every morning and or every couple of days, maybe with his walk and greens mower. And it's just beautiful. And I'm like,
my neighbors think I'm pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I'll just go sit down.
Just lay on your yard. Why not? Why wouldn't you?
Don't judge. It's nice grass.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Did you come back to event or tradition?
I think it's fun to do, like, the music. I always call it Founders After 5.
Yeah, it is Founders After 5. Yeah, I think.
No, I think it's.
Is it not anymore?
They called it something else when they moved it to King Commons.
Oh, well, that
Fridays After 6 or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. I haven't been to that. I don't think we've been to that. We went to Founders After 5 a few times, but
they moved it over to
the big amphitheater.
The big one. Yeah, it's cool. That's neat to be able to do that.
You walk down to Lazy Lady ever?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so good.
So that's one thing about this new practice I'm doing is Friday mornings is breakfast time with the family. We're going to Lazy Lady this Friday.
Yeah, my buddy Sam, she works there, and Marin, who owns it, is a friend of ours. And chocolate croissant, my wife loves them. They're so good. But her patient, like, I'm wanting to go in, walking in there. I'm like, I'm going to get a chocolate croissant because they're unbelievable. But then there's something new they made, like some strawberry cheesecake, coffee cake thing that's just like,
Have you had their biscuits? I'm a biscuits and gravy guy.
Oh, I didn't even know they did that.
I think that last time I was there, they had that menu.
Yeah.
Very good.
So good. So good. Okay. Well, anything else we want to share? Or you good to go?
I think I've probably said too much.
It's probably time for me to read the outro, and let's just go ahead and hit a compliance statement because Andrew offers investment advice through Private Advisor Group, which is a federally registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced in this material/podcast are for general information only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. Kind of like that tax advice we were giving, right? It's just
talk to your tax guy.
Talk to your tax guy, right? To determine which strategies or investments may be suitable for you, consult the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision. And I would assume that you're an appropriate qualified professional.
Yeah, you can talk to me.
We could talk to you. Yeah. So you're just going to be a lot of forms you got to fill out.
Yeah.
But,
paperwork, DocuSigns. We keep it nice and simple.
That's right. Well, I enjoyed getting to know you. It's great talking to you. You have an amazing voice, and I'm very jealous. And so,
till I listen to it, I'm like, dang,
I sound like a weirdo every time I listen to my voice. And so, thank you for what you're doing. Just furthering the kingdom, taking care of people, stewarding resources well. One day getting Charlotte back on the floral business for all the husbands that need it. That's right. And so you can retire early. And I think just being a great friend to Johnson City. So thanks for coming on the podcast.
We love being here. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, my pleasure. And thank you guys for listening. Till next time, I'm Colin Johnson with the Colin and Carly Group. Holler at me, and we'd love to help you move here and introduce you to Mr. Julian. Thanks so much. Have a great day.